All right, what it do, YouTube? It's your boy Shannon with Team Skin coming at you with a winning deck profile for my most recent tournament that I just hosted. Had a very good turnout. The finals ended up being Oden versus Kid. Very good match. Be sure to check out that finals video that I'll be posting as well alongside this deck profile. With that being said, who do we have here?
Hey, my name is Clyde, and I played Oden in this tournament.
Yes, sir. He was pilot. I watched the match too. He piloted it very well. Haven't seen an Oden player do this good with this deck. That's definitely awesome to see.
Yeah, I'm normally a Kid player, but Oden is just a lot more fun. It's a lot more engagement rather than just, the normal Kid, build a wall and swing. So I like Oden because of how versatile it is.
Hell yeah, bro. You got any shout outs before we start?
Yeah, just shout outs to my channel, first of all, Royal Nuts Gaming. I haven't been uploading a lot of content, but I'm going to start, especially with the Treasure Cup coming up. And then shout out to all my people that I playtest with. We have our own Discord, the Grand Line, and there's only a couple of us, but we love playtesting, and then we love trying new things. And Oden was one of the things that I tried, and it helped me because I got versed with it.
Hell yeah, looks like the testing definitely paid out. Yeah, be sure to check out the links in the description box below. I'll have the link to his channel as well as a few others, man. That being said, let's just get right into it, bro.
Yeah, so my leader was Oden. His effect, just trash a Wano card, and then you get to reactive 2 Dawn. So it's kind of like Kid in that you get to trash a card and gain some more resources. The one thing you have to worry about him is that it only unrests Dawn that were rested. So if it's attached, that doesn't count. So you can't attach something and then reactive those Dawn. So that's something I messed up in the beginning. But he's really cool because his effect basically lets you be a little bit more aggro early. Because you start with like 4 or 5 Dawn. But you can actually start with like 6 or 7 Dawns worth of play. So if I play like an Okiku for 3, I can use his effect and reactive a Dawn, and I can play like a Momo and then use Momo effect, and that's basically another body I have on board that was basically free.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the actual cards itself, I played most of the cards I played is typical in like a kit package too. So it's basically like a kit deck too. So I played 4 of each searcher.
Yep.
The cool thing with Oden's effect is if you played a Momo for 1 and used his effect to grab another Wano card and then rest it, that's 2 Dawn you paid. And then the card you discarded is basically the card you got from him. Yeah. Except now you have a body on board, so you're kind of netting 1 Dawn.
Yeah.
And then typical kit stuff, 4 of the beige blockers, 4 of the killer blockers. If you see later on, my kit or this package is focused mainly on the ACOS kit, so I want max out on the blockers, and the killer is nice because it gets you add an extra card. 4 at the Apu, which is just a 2K counter. I don't think you would ever hard play him because his spec is not as good as 2K counter.
Yeah.
And then 4 of each of the resters, the Ezos and the Cat Vipers. They're also Wano cards, so they work well with Oden's effect, but most of the time you want them for the resting ability. Ezo less so because you want her more for the 2K counter.
Yeah.
And then 2 of the killer. So some really cool plays you can do early on. Say you're at 4 Dawn and they have like a Robin on the board. You can do something like a Cat Viper for 2, which means you're left with 2 Dawn. So if you swing over their body, they might think it's safe, but then you can use Oden's effect, reactive 2 Dawn, and then play a killer. So that really catches them off guard early. Like say they invested a lot of cards to protect their Robin, you can just pop it with a killer right after.
Yep, that's actually insane.
Yeah, and then 4 of each of the Wano 3 drops. They're both really good in different ways. So Okiku is good for clearing board and resting blockers and getting that early aggression, and Raizo is good for the hand replenishment, so he'll give you an extra card. They're also Wano cards that work well with the Oden leader, and it's really important to run a lot of Wano cards, otherwise the leader effect is pretty dead early. And they're both 3 drops. I run a lot of 3 drops because of this next card, which is the really reason I want to play Oden is because of the Law. Yeah. So Law is my favorite card in this deck just because he lets you get so many resources using Oden's effect. Right. So say you're at like 5 Dawn, you can play a Momo for 1, going down to 4 Dawn, use Momo effect, go down to 3 Dawn, get a card, and then discard that card to go back to 5 Dawn. Then you can play this Law, bounce back to Momo, and play one of these 3 drop guys. And that's basically huge. You started with basically 0 bodies on board, and at 5 Dawn you went to like a Law and Okiku, which is crazy value. So he's the real reason that I'm playing Oden over Kid, just because you can do those types of play. That's also why I max out on the Law blockers as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, most of the time, I don't really consider him a blocker either. I consider him just a 6K beat stick because once he's on board, people will swing at you 6K, which means your 2Ks are more live because you just counter him for 6K. But most of the time, I use him to attack because you're not going to get much blocker value out of him unless you're using him to protect like your ACOS kid because he's immune to Shanks or something.
Yeah.
And then 2 of the Yamato. So this card basically is your win con sometimes. As Oden, I don't like to swing in my opponent if it's going to get him resources, saying it's like the Law matchup or the Kid matchup. So
Yeah.
I'll usually swing into them when I have the Yamato because it'll just banish it. It won't even add it.
Right.
At worst, it's a 1k counter and it's a Wano card, so it works along with it. But it can be your win con. But I wouldn't say try to use Yamato's effect too hardly. If it doesn't look like it's the right scenario for it, don't force it. If it's a good scenario where they're either low on resources or low on blockers, then you can get some value out of it, or you can waste a lot of resources from their hand.
Yeah. When you use your model just now in that last round, that was nuts.
Yeah, if you notice, I didn't even swing at his life at all because I didn't want to give him extra resources, extra counters. I waited till I saw that he had one or no blockers, and then I was able to get free swings with Yamato, and it just burned 2 life.
Yeah, it was nuts.
Yeah, 2 of the Dendro. I would like to play more because he's so strong. 5 drop 7k is like perfect stats. And his effect is like a mini Oden effect where if he attacks with 1 Don attached, you get to unrest 2 Don.
Yeah.
The only reason I didn't play over him is because I wanted to play 4 of the 5 drop laws, and I didn't want to play too many cards with no counters.
Yeah, makes sense.
And my 5 drops is already so cluttered with 4 of these guys, 2 Yamatos, and 2 Dendros. But if I had space, I would play more. Nice. 1 of the 7 cost kid, he's really good in the green mirror, and mostly I have him just for the Kaido. If I see I'm going against Kaido, I might try to mulligan for him because he demands so much resources from Kaido because he can be free aggression and free block.
Yeah.
I didn't want to run too much of him because I'm already running so many non-counter cards.
Yeah, makes sense.
And then lastly, 3 of the 8 drop kid. This guy's gonna be your win con most of the time. If you can get enough resources by doing like the Momo play with the Law play or the Rizos and accumulate a big hand, I'm not even worried about going down to like 0 life because I know that as soon as I go to 0 life, that's all I need because I have maximized on resources on like with Momos or maximize resources by taking life, and I can just play this guy and he can just defend me forever. And and once he's out, my Bonnies and my Momos and my Rizos can keep giving me more and more cards.
Yeah.
But so yeah, most of the time he's my win con. And cool plays you can do with Oden is like if you're at 8 Don, you can play him for 8, do Oden effect to unrest 2 cards, and then use one of those Dons to attach to the kid. So you're basically getting the kid out at 8 Don, which is something you can't do with kid.
Yeah, that play is nuts. I like that you can do that in Oden, not kid. Actually,
yeah, so I'd say most of the time Kid is better, and I think Kid is a better deck overall, but Oden just opens you up so many more avenues to play it, and it's a really cool playstyle.
Nice. So my quick question, how do you feel about not playing the Basil in here? The Basil and, because I saw a couple other Oden decks, they play Basil and what is it, Kinemon?
Yeah, so Kinemon is something I tried, but it's just, if it was 7k I would try, but since it's 6k it just gets popped by Jet Pistol and it gets swung over so easy.
Yeah.
And the Hawkins is something I really want to fit in there because the Hawkins is how you'd win either the mirror or the green kid matchup, because otherwise that green kid matchup is really hard. But it's just the law gets too much value that I want to max out on him, and the Dendro is important just because I'm running probably half split between like 25 Wano cards, and sometimes I don't have enough Wano cards to use Oden's effect, so I wanted another Wano card. So I would try to fit Hawkins in there. Maybe I would take the 7 cost kit for him, but I like him as well, so I couldn't find space for Hawkins, but otherwise I would put him in. Yeah,
again guys, the last round was him versus a kitted player. Watching him outlast, so his opponent had Basil Hawkins. Watching him outlast his opponent's Hawkins was definitely a good watch. It was very, very crucial. He was putting he was putting so much pressure on you with that Hawkins. It lasted for so long, and then you finally were able to push through it.
Yeah, not running the Hawkins and the Straw Sword really hurts me in like any kind of green matchup. But yeah, as long as you're patient and you can really like grind out your opponent and get enough resources, and yeah, you can just grind out in the late game.
Hell yeah, bro. Good shit, man. Good shit. Got any last minute fucking things to say, bro?
Yeah, I mean, I always say, like, I've been playing One Piece since the pre-release. I love the game. Like, there's so many cool leaders and cool decks you can play. Like, don't limit yourself. Like, play whatever you think is fun, because anything can win. I mean, I didn't expect to win with Oden, but it was a good victory, and I also had fun playing it, so it was like a double victory for me. But yeah, so just play whatever you want to play, like tier list or meta, be damned, just play whatever is fun.
Hell yeah, I'll second that. That's all I do is play whatever. I can't sit here and play and not have fun. That's just not a thing. I do like winning though. Winning is also fun.
Yeah, that's a plus too. But even if you lose, if you're having fun, then that's already better than winning and not having fun.
Hell yeah, bro. Well, yeah. With that being said, guys, take it easy.